What is going on? What is going on? All right, we are back. There we go. We're back to standing up. I don't know if you guys remember. I actually like it. I'm looking at the wrong side. Holy shit, Charles. Let's get your stuff together. Let's get your Friday together. All right. So if you're new to this, if you have no idea who I am, I'm a homeless man in New York. No, I'm kidding. I own a real estate firm here in New York City, and we are looking to hire. We're looking to bring on people because I know exactly what's wrong with New York City. Real estate brokerages, they're all going to go bankrupt. I can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing because I'm going to take all the business and just expand and just crush all their faces because I'm so much better. Oh, wow. Talking about journaling. So, if you guys are new, subscribe, like, whatever. I have to give you value before you can do that. So, let's get right into it. Okay, so what got me on the journaling path? Let's start with that. There's a great book out there. Everyone's already heard of it by Hal Elrod called Miracle Morning. In there, he has a series of things that you could do affirmations, journaling. I don't know if you're distracted by that. That's Times Square. Let's move it like that. Um, Journaling, affirmations, and exercising, things like that. So, good morning, Chris. How we doing? Chris, this is obviously your question. So, I read that back in 1835. No, I read that probably about 5 years ago because I was out of the West Village. I was still in Greenwich Village. So that was actually when my personal development. I started to journal after reading Tools of Titan, and that is my next book. The thing is so fucking big to carry around in New York City. I don't have a car. We carry things around like in my gym bag. I'm not going to show you my gym bag, but it's right behind me. And from that, I was like, I got into meditating a little bit, and I was like, this isn't for me. I tried affirmations, and then I went to Tony Robbins in Fiji, and I was like, wow, okay, maybe I need a rebounder. So I got the rebounder. I put the mirror right in front of me, and I started doing that, and I was like, okay, this is really good. I like the affirmations. Looking at yourself gives you the confidence. You get fired up. You have little earbuds or headphones in, and you got this pumping up song, and you're saying these affirmations. You're believing it. I'm reading the book by Dr. Joe Dispenza right now about energy, and by the way, it's insane the world we live in, and I'm just like, how did we get here? How did we get here? I don't know, whatever. Uh, so then I started adding other things. So I started adding meditation, and then I was like, all right, let me try this journaling thing. I need a journaling book. So I bought the one by Grant Cardone. That flopped because it's not really a journaling book. It's more about goals and things like that. Then I went on to another book, and I thought it was all about the book. I needed a book. That's the thing is people like, I'm going to be really good at golf if I had TaylorMade or Titleist clubs, or I'm going to be really good at biking once I have a $2,000 bike. It's like, no, let's start with a $300, $200 bike. Get your fat ass on there and start doing 10, 15, 20 miles, and then we can start talking about upgrading your bike. Until you start doing that, there's no point. A lot of people need something before they start. That was me, okay? The reason I make fun of people anytime is because that was me. So journaling, what's going on? Erwin, look at this, gracing us with your presence. This is incredible. So talking about journaling, so I saw every video out there. Literally, I just YouTubed journaling because I kept on hearing it, and I was like, what do these people do? What's their why, to journaling and things like that. So I started looking up. I got from Tim Ferriss to Brian Tracy to Jack Canfield to all the names, and I just couldn't get into it. There was nothing. So then I started noticing that it's not really about how you journal because Seth Godin says write every single day. Just write. Just write. That's it. Just write something. Blog or put something down, okay? Which is really interesting because that's the way that he does it is obviously through a blog. He updates every single day or not updates every single day, but he blogs every single day. So he types it out. He doesn't write it. And I'm a very visual person. Actually, reading through this book, I want to thank you for introducing to Eric. Oh my God, dude. That blog is unfucking real. That is the best blog on the internet, hands down, no question about it. I journal and has three kinds: small affirmation, my goal, and how I feel this morning. Yeah, exactly. So what I noticed is that through all of these techniques, I noticed it's not the perfect example is when you approach a girl, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay? When you are negotiating, when you're selling, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I could say, buy this product, or I could say, just buy the product. It's the exact same words, it's how you say it. It's the same thing with journaling. It's not what you do, it's just what you do that works. Okay? So this is what I do. Okay? Again, the preface was right before this is that it may not work for you. Okay? There are people that journal just their goals. There are people that journal just their emotions. There are people that journal just their day and their successes. Okay? I believe in that, which are just successes. I now don't use the word change. I don't like the word change. I like the word improve. So when I'm journaling, I say, this is something I'm going to improve, not something I need to improve. It's all about the language. It's the linguistics of your thinking gets hardwired. Why? Because it's not right now. You have to think 20 years down the line by using the word improve instead of the word change, how much that's going to change, ironically enough, your thinking. Improve your thinking, upgrade your thinking. Everything needs to be upgraded. That's really what personal development is about, self-development, life in general. And I can tell you right now, I am so bullish on the future, and I'll get back to the journaling. Don't worry about it, Chris. I'm so bullish on the future because I was at this class. Okay, so just go into the story really quick and why it has to do with journaling, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm at the gym class today. The regularly scheduled gym class was canceled, and it's kind of like it's like you go to a different station, you do different exercises and whatever. That was canceled. So then this girl's standing there, and I'm like, ah, fuck, I don't recognize her. Should I do this? It's a Friday. I'm kind of feeling a little lethargic. I'm like, all right, whatever, fuck it, let's do it. It was a hard gym class. Okay, she freaking brought it, and she was in front of me. And when we were doing high knees, she put her hands above my waist, so I had to hit her hand, and I'm like, and I hate when people do that. I gotta tell you, I hate when they do that because that's what fires me up. Okay, not that they're doing it, and then she was like, go lower in the squat, and after class I went up to her and I talked to her. But this is the interesting thing. So this one girl who shut me down in the class, probably about 5-6 months ago, when I was totally different person, 5-6 months ago. I'm telling you right now, if you keep on this, get back to the journaling, don't worry, people. If you keep on this path, there will be a moment where you're like, oh, wow. That wow moment. But once you hit that wow moment, there's two things you need to do. Sustain it, because it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. You're like, wow, I actually have a six-pack, or wow, I actually can lift more weights, or wow, I'm getting really pretty girls, or wow, I have a lot more business. The easy way is to go back, and you're like, oh no, I would never go back. Wait till it happens to you, people. Wait till that happens. When you have to expand beyond anything you've even thought manageable. Okay, you have too much business, and you're like, oh, I would love that. Okay, bullshit. Okay, bull fucking shit. That's why there is way too many people that are in this world that are average, because something really good happens, and then they rest on their laurels, or they still look at the success that they had when they were a childhood star in Hollywood. Okay, dude, put out another movie. Ma'am, go on another TV show. You're done, okay? Thanks for the Oscar. Let's get another one, okay? I don't even know where I went with that. Oh, so this girl who shut me down 6 months ago, all right? She was there, and she wasn't really bringing it. And she's in the back row, and I could see her through the mirror. She's stunning, beautiful, unbelievable girl. And I could see her, she's not really bringing it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, whatever. And then she leaves early. And in my mind, I'm like, that is not the type of girl for me. I didn't want to be there. My legs were burning. My arms were burning. I was in the front row. I was getting judged. The teacher's saying higher knees, things like that. And I'll get back to the journaling, which this all wraps around to it. And I remember thinking like, wow, like that is what most, and then this is the kicker. During sets, so you work out for whatever, you do, I think 15 minutes straight. It's crazy. Then you have a 1 minute rest period. During that 1 minute, she went over to her phone. When I saw that, I said, wow, that is, you can't even go 1 minute. Okay? I know what you're thinking. Oh, I can't believe that girl. It's easy to judge someone else. Look at your life. Look at your life. I don't judge anymore. I say, okay, I'm noticing it on someone else. Where is that occurring in my life? Where am I getting distracted? Where am I needing an outlet? Where am I not pursuing my goals because I want to do something that's easier, like answer emails or call someone that's easy to call or go out. Where am I? Where do I have a void? You know, she's preoccupied, got stuff on her mind, and having an off day. Yeah, no, she is. That's the difference. She is. She messaged me. She messaged me, and she's like, "Oh, I feel like shit today." Okay, that is the whole. I don't care. I had a terrible day last night. I don't know if you saw my stories, but I left work. My head was down. I haven't felt that bad in a while. But this is the big thing: is you have to know that it's temporary. Yeah, exactly. For her to check her phone in a 1 minute time span is zero. You should never do that. As bad as the day is going, as much as you feel like shit, you have to embrace that. That is the essence, okay? Why does this have to do with journaling? The reason I'm able to actually break these things down is that every single morning I look back on the day. Erwin said he writes down how he's feeling and things like that. I look down and I say, how am I feeling? What did I see, say this girl, what did I see that I need to improve on? And I write that down. Why do I write it down instead of just think about it? Because when you think about it, it's still in your brain. It's like a task you need to do. Put it on paper. Put it in your phone. What I do is I go to my email and I open up a new email and I just write things that I need to do, and that's it. And then my mind clears away and it's able to bring other things inside. So when I journal and when I see that, I say, listen, the biggest thing is for her is she's going on her phone, or last night I felt terrible. I journaled this morning. I said it was temporary. Everything is temporary. And someone said something very interesting. I forgot what podcast I was listening to. And the guy was saying, he goes, there is going to be this is what he calls it, the law of averages. So if you call 100 people, or you approach 100 girls or 100 guys, or you ask 100 people to do business, or whatever the case is, you go to the gym 100 times, okay? There will be statistically a day where you are not on. You are not on, okay? When I heard that, I said, holy shit, you can't have unbelievable days every single day. It's impossible. Statistically, you will have an off day. Statistically, you will have a terrible day. Statistically, something tragic will happen in your life. Not everything is fresh rainbows and stuff like that. So when I saw that this morning, I was like, wow, she's having an off day. Maybe she's sick. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe something happened in her life. But you have to embrace that. And that's something that is really challenging. So in what's his name's blog, that wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which it's not over there. I don't think so. Nope. No, it's not over there. But in there, I forgot the guy's name, and one of you guys will correct me or just write it in there. He wrote in there one of his latest posts. Highly recommend checking out that blog as well. In his latest post, he said the three steps to self-awareness. And in there, Mark Manson, thank you. And in there, he says that the 3 steps to self-awareness is obviously awareness. Step 2 is questioning it, and obviously, that's what I got out of it. He's saying something different. And then the third thing, which is really deep, is feel the emotions. Feel the emotions. Because you can't get through something unless you actually feel the emotions and then you're able to release it. Because the opposite is true, and that's what I get from journaling, is if I can't feel the emotions of why I felt bad last night, like right now, I'm giddy, okay? Last night, there's no way I like when shit hits the fan and you see, I'm overwhelmed or whatever, getting things done, just watched the book. Wow. I actually went to David Allen's, one of his classes. To be honest, it was terrible. It was a waste of money, and it was probably one of the only ones where I'm like, I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything. That was a waste of a day and $500. But whatever, water under the bridge. I don't know where that came from. But the reason I journal and the reason you should journal is that you have all these thoughts in your mind. Is Charles correct? Is Charles correct in, say, this video? Or what don't I agree with something I heard? Or what's one area I need to improve? And then at the end, so I go through that. And the reason I go through it is because as I'm writing, you get better at that. You get better at actually just going blah because you're at a higher level already. Yeah, and you know what? There's a lot more levels. Like there is no end. There is no end because this is the thing. And I actually thought about it this morning. So I took a day off from the gym today. Not today. I think on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday I didn't go to the gym. I was just so tired. I slept through my alarm that was going off for 10 minutes and then I snoozed it. That's why you didn't see anything on Instagram. And then I didn't even go. I just felt so tired. I was like, you know what? I need this 1 hour of sleep. So ended up sleeping and whatever. And I thought about it, and that's a perfect example of why to journal. Because I thought about it and I said, how did I get to this point? Because I don't want to get to that point again. And I also, and skipped YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get to that point, number one. Because when I get to that point and it's consistent, that's when you start going, and I don't ever want to go there because I've gone there and it sucks. It sucks. It really sucks. You're walking around in a daze. You need to look at your phone between sets at the gym. And the reason that I'm saying this is if I can't get my thoughts, if I can't piece things together outside of my brain, because it's easy to just bing it around in your head. But if you can get it outside your head and actually put it onto paper, I swear to God, there is a moment where you're like, oh, wow. And then you could change, and then you can improve something. Okay, so a perfect example is my outlet was maybe a dating app, or that's why I wasn't approaching pretty girls, and I got that through journaling. And then I said, okay, how do I improve my schedule? How do I make it more efficient? I got that through journaling because I said, I don't feel like I'm getting enough business. So then I wrote it down and I said, what's my schedule? Okay, so for me, it's really solving issues, or it's really trying to improve things in my life that I want to improve. That's how I journal. Okay, yours could be you still using Bumblebee? Yeah, I deleted it. I just honestly, my thing is I would rather meet the girls at the gym. They're just harder. They're just tougher, I should say. They're just a tougher mindset to consistently go to the gym, and they're in shape. I'm guaranteed that. They're cooler, they're outgoing, whatever. But that I also got through journaling. So I look at an area of my life, and it's always in that moment. I never pre-script. I never say, this is what I'm going to journal about. I literally just wanted to match with you, exactly. I just literally stand there. I have a beautiful, just open page, no lines, just absolute chaos on there. And I have scripted out so many things on there. I look at it, and like I said, I don't pre-script it. I stand up. I have a standing mat at home. I think you've seen it. Standing mat at home. I have a music stand, kind of like the music stand that I have right here. I don't want to take this. Fuck it. Let's see if this thing, whatever. It's a music stand. Okay. All right. Well, that thing's not coming off. That thing's permanently in the wall. Charles is a catch. He's tall. Listen. You should have seen the guy. He was at Chop Salad last night. I was getting my salad at 8:15 when I was leaving work in a fucking daze. And the girl in front of me was amazing, dude. New York City has some stunning, stunning women. And it's getting warmer out, so yeah, it's fun. And this is really funny is that she was with a guy that was the exact same height. She was probably 5'6", maybe 5'6". He was 5'6". But you know what? He held his frame. He was masculine. The way he carried himself, he was leading. He was never self-conscious. She was stunning. And he was just a regular guy, he looks like he has his shit together based on the way he carried himself and looked and haircut and facial hair and outfit and things like that. Listen, that's height is just one thing because I could say, hey, listen, if it's sick, you ever see a taller guy? He's 6'2", 6'3", or even 6 foot or whatever. And they're just like awkwardly tall because they don't embrace it. That's the big thing. So when you journal, this is the biggest thing is I highly recommend, okay, the first step is it has to be consistent. Okay, I'm 5'9", I feel like I'm 5 feet. That's because you told yourself that. That's because you told yourself that. There's a lot of people that are 5'9". I have a good friend of mine. He played D1 lacrosse, and he walks around. Actually, shorter than that. He's like 5'7", and he walks around like he's 6 feet tall. He's got the Napoleon. He's got his chest out. He walks like an absolute boss. And this guy, 5'11", with my heels on, my shoes 6 foot. So that's not even that tall. That's just that's what average or whatever now, like 5'10", 5'11", whatever. I would say the first thing is with journaling is has to be consistent. Number two is you have to find your own way. My way is to look at something that I'm thinking about. Why am I feeling bad? Why am I feeling good? If I'm feeling good, what made me feel good? I had a good night's sleep. I crushed my goals the night before. I didn't look at my phone at all this morning or last night. If I'm feeling bad, I say, okay, did I drink? Did I eat bad? Did I not make the amount of phone calls that I wanted? What's going through my mind? And then I put that down and then I say, okay, here is what I want to improve. And then I say, how do I improve it? So my journaling is literally me able to improve, not in my mind, but on paper. And I'm telling you right now, when you could do it on paper, it is night and day. It's not even a question. Because when you do it on paper, you can literally spell it out and your mind just regurgitates. As you're doing it, you should see how many pages I went through. Like I have a ridiculous amount of pages that I've gone through because I just mind dump, as they call it, onto my paper, and that's it. Journal entries and read them. No. When I'm done with the book, I was actually thinking about that. When I'm done with the book, which is I still have probably another year and a half of entries. It's a huge book. And it's got like a nice foldable ring binder and whatever. That's the thing is that, a lot of people, they worry about, and as did I, what kind of pen am I using? Where am I standing? What time am I going to do it? So you're saying is even though I feel sometimes that I shouldn't say it, my mind isn't. Yeah, you believe whatever you want to believe. you meet celebrities, they're shorter than you think. Gordon Ramsay is ugly as fuck. He's ugly as sin, okay? And the thing is, I'll tell you right now, when I saw him and I got up to the bathroom and they were filming a show, I got up, went to the bathroom, and there's 3 girls with me. He came down, sat on my table, and he goes, that guy's got to be gay. There's no way he has 3 beautiful women at his table. And they all laughed and everything else. And he joked around, and I came back, and he was sitting there, and then he got up and left. And the girls were like, he's so hot. The guy is short. His face of leather, okay? And he's just not a good-looking guy, So I would say journaling, consistency. Number 2 is find your way. Mine is looking at something I want to improve, and then writing it down. Consistency is number 1. That's number 1. Just start there. That's it. You just mind dump because right now there are so many things going into your mind. Insecurities, goals, people that you want to talk to, people that you have talked to, people that you hate, people that you don't hate. There's just so much going in your mind. That's why I'm freer because I'm able to dump that out onto paper, look at it. Each one is maybe, 10 sentences. It's not over the top. I do it for 10 minutes and then I can go meditate. That's the thing is if I tried going into meditating, but all these things were going, why do I feel bad? Why do I feel good? Why do I? And it just kept on going through my mind. And I was like, oh my God, I can't fucking meditate. So I journal, then I meditate because when I journal, I could just dump all the shit that's in my mind. Start with that. Your first week, it should just be all the shit that's been clogging your brain. Why? Because it frees up and it allows you to freely give out energy instead of just absorbing other people's energy. We all know those people, they walk into a party and they're just absorbing people's energy. I highly, highly recommend if there are 2 things that you do, I would first try and meditate, but before you meditate, you do the journaling. And then once you get those 2 things down consistently, because that was me. For years, I didn't do it consistently. And for years, I struggled in my Greenwich Village apartment trying to, what's my morning routine? Hal Elrod told me to do all this shit, and I can't even do one of them. I can't even go to the gym. I can't even eat right. So number 1 is I would first start on consistently trying to meditate, okay? It's Ramadan. I'm hungry. Well, I don't have any food for you, so I'm sorry. How long is Ramadan? What's the what is that like 48 hours? And by the way, it you'll be fine. Okay, it sucks right now because your body has an emotional attachment to it. In this book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, he unleashes on our attachment to so many things: our attachment to food, to sex, to porn, to escapism, to Instagram, to the internet, to YouTube videos, whatever. For me, for 10 years, I was saying, I'm not going to take any action because I don't know how to do it. Headspace app is good for Medicaid. Yeah. I just download it's called G Drive, Google Drive, G Drive. It's the app. And then I can put my own song in there. So I just have 5 songs. One is a motivational one, which I do on my rebounder. I have and it's just a pumping up song. There's no words. It's just like really good music. The second one is when I journal and I meditate. I use that. It's like a soft, peaceful kind of thing. It's all free. You just download it off the internet and you stick it into the app. It's unbelievable, you guys, what you could do through. So, kombucha's somewhere in there. Yeah, it's in. Did I take it home with me? No, it's in the kitchen because they freaking run out of it. Whoever that company is doing really well. Really well. It's in every single Whole Foods, it's every single Chopped, and they're always running out. They can't even pump out enough kombucha. And it's $4 each. So it's a glass can or a glass cylinder with kombucha. So I don't even know if I talked about anything about journaling in there, but I hope that helps a little bit. I hope it actually it makes you want to write something down, get it out of your mind. That is the number one. Once you free your mind, I swear creativity flows. I swear everything flows from it. Everything. Creativity, the fun, the enthusiasm, because you're not ruminating on anything. All right. So I think Monday, hopefully we have this camera. So I took it off the wall. This is an A7S II. I bought a new wide angle lens just for you guys. So I'm dead broke. And we're going to be going live. Probably, obviously, it's going to be better. It's going to be straight on. I'm also going to be pumping out some new material. This is getting 1% better, obviously. So when people say, I don't have the equipment, dude, I've been doing 3 years of videos on my iPhone. And then as they gave me better iPhone, I did better videos. And now I can go live. So I don't need to download it and then upload it and all that other jazz. I'm just making it easy for myself. And then kombucha bankrupting you. Dude, kombucha is probably one of the fermenting. Dude, your gut is everything. Your gut is everything. When I went to Fiji, and I'll leave you guys with this. When I went to Fiji and I was listening to, what's his name? Oh, fuck. He's, God. Oh, man. He's in his birthday. I actually friended him on Facebook and I wished him a happy birthday. Whatever his name is, he came out with a oil, something oil. Gosh, not krill oil. His name will come to me. It was actually his birthday and whatever, but he was talking about the gut, and everything is in our gut, everything, and our body gets attached. Loving the Instagram posts. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with those. I really like it because it mind dumps things that I'm actually thinking about. And it also is putting me out of my comfort zone. I'm saying things that are completely original, completely creative. That's the difference between consuming and creating. And that's going to be a post. There's consumers, people that are on Instagram, they don't post anything, like my ex-girlfriend, like most of the people on there, they just consume. Instagram loves you people that consume. I don't consume anything. They fucking hate me because I take up their space, but they like me because I'm the only one producing. I don't scroll through it. Maybe one or two probably one, and that's it because it's 3 and then an ad. And then once I hit the ad, I close it. I like the first 3 photos, so it shows that I'm engaging a little bit. But I can tell you right now is the reason I brought up the phone before is that if you do not handle your outlets now, you said yesterday there was a good video on gut micro, but you forgot the channel it was on. Crap. I don't know what I was referring to. Oh, yeah, I'll give you that. Actually, it starts with a K. It's a very popular channel. I'll give you that, and I'll also say that you have to. It's like Kuz something. Um, I'll go through it. I have 217 subscriptions. I think that's a little too many, uh, but I don't watch obviously all of them. All right, I'll go through it. I'll get it to you. Oh, here it is. It's K. If you guys want to write it down, Kurzges. It's really hard to. Here you go. I don't know if you could see it, but that's the channel. He's got a lot of subscribers too. 6 million subscribers. Highly recommend it. So he talks about it. Well, it's the superbug right here. So he talks about your uh, just what is in your body. And the thing is, when you get, just go back and, I know someone's going to be like, oh, you there. Just go back to the video and screenshot it. Kurzgesagt, in a nutshell. One video a month, quality over quantity. So what he talks about in there is that when there's so many things. Number one is when our bodies get used to everything. So our bodies get used to, so our genetics, and this is going to be controversial because people don't want to believe it, but our genetics are actually influenced by the environment. And it's known as epigenetics. Okay, so in other words, if you're used to the same environment, it could be cold, it could be warm, it could be sunny, it could be not sunny, it could be a very abrasive household, it could be a warm and loving household. Your body gets used to that, so you stay in the same state if you are in the same environment. So in other words, as your cells reproduce, they get used to the same thing. So that's why we get addicted. Okay, your body adjusts to maybe a very high sugar. I want your hair. Listen, it's over time. I can tell you that much. It's a lot of this, and it's a lot of good food. And by the way, this is like all soft. It's kind of funny when girls run their. They're like, oh my god, it's so soft. I'm like, yeah, how you doing? What's your number? Gorgeous. Well, listen, you look at old pictures of me. I was fat, had a shitty haircut. It's just, maybe 5 years ago, I was like, I got to work on what I'm wearing. I got to work on getting fitted clothes. I got to work on my shoes. I got to work on, my belts. I got to work on my hair, chemicals to avoid in skincare. Yeah, that's literally been on my calendar, and I've been moving it back, moving it back. So, and actually, I was thinking about that this morning in the shower, is that I want to look up Kiehl's. Kiehl's is a very expensive skincare, but that's what Equinox uses. And I know it's chemicals. I know it's chemicals. Like, look at my lips. They're not dry, but other people, they put way too much moisturizer. You don't need moisturizer, okay? Your body see, that's the thing, is your body gets used to it. So whatever you do, your body gets used to. If you're waking up late, if you're eating like shit, if you want to approach someone, but your body gets used to that. It's epigenetics. So your environment actually, so you're predisposed here. This is the best, this is the best way to put it. You're predisposed to maybe certain diseases. 0.5, or actually it's 5%. 5%, that's what honestly, I think it's lower. But all of the scientists, not the ones that are paid off by, obviously, the pharmaceutical companies, that's fucking, I hope Donnie Boy up there, he talks about like lowering the cost of pharmaceuticals. No, that's not what we need to do. We need to just get rid of it. We need your wife to talk about how shitty they are. Anyway, why don't they? Yeah, all right. That's politicians. I don't want to even get into that. But you are predisposed at birth to certain diseases because maybe it was in a lineage. Predisposed. That's the thing, is you can not get that by doing certain things. Okay, predisposed. And there's triggers that go on if you are exposed to the exact same environment. So alcoholism, cancer, and certain types of cancer, pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, maybe heart attacks, things like that. You are predisposed because that's obviously those genetics, 5%, it's not a lot, is passed down, okay? And they're turned on if the environment is exactly the same as the environment of the person that got it. Let me say that again. So if my uncle was an alcoholic, he died. And so my aunt and his daughter, my cousin, said, you know what, we're not going to drink. So they were predisposed to alcoholism. And by the way, my grandfather is a lineage. We're fucking Irish, of course. So we're predisposed to alcoholism. So my mom said, you know what? I don't want this guy drinking too much, blah, blah, blah. And I still did because I was a shitty kid. And I was predisposed to alcoholism. Was in my genetics? Probably not. But I was in the environment that would have triggered it. Okay. And then once you start drinking and once you stay in the environment, your cells reproduce and they're reproducing this environment. Okay. And that could be any environment, a negative environment, a happy environment. It could be whatever. And it just reproduces and then you just fall into that. And then that is why it is so hard to change because it is now part of you because you're in the same environment, thinking the same thing without changing. That is the hardest thing. That is epigenetics, where your environment actually influences your genetics. And then your genes keep on multiplying. Your cells multiply with the same environment, and then boom, 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 over year, over year, over year. And then you're 40 years old, you're overweight, you have a shitty relationship, and you're like, how did I get here? It was being in the same environment, doing the same thing, eating the same way, thinking the same way, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you check out John. I did sort of like the guy. Nah, not really. I don't know. Wasn't really for me. So I'm going to hop off for now. Monday is when we are going to be talking about, obviously Chris is, monopolizing all these videos, but we're going to be talking about everything that you put on your body and in your body and everything that affects, including the cleaners, the mouthwash, the facial skin, everything, what kind of, whatever when you shave, shaving cream, everything like that. So have an awesome weekend. See you guys soon. I can't believe it's 36 minutes. My bad. I just thought, no, listen, no, I'm always open to recommendations. It's not a bad thing. Of course not. There's what's his name wrote an incredible book. I would rather try it than be like, no, it's not for me. Yeah, smoking mutates your cells. Yeah, smoking, drinking, mindset, too much TV. Your eyes get used to the screen. Your eyes get used to maybe nature. It's incredible. Our body is incredibly adaptive. And that could be the issue. And that's also why you guys, if you control the escapism, is golden. If you control your escapism and you can be productive, like I'm about to be at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to make my calls, you're going to be ahead of everyone else, where you don't have to look at your phone between sets, where you don't need to look at your phone when you enter the elevator, where you don't need to look at your phone when you're on the subway, because the reason we have escapism is because we have a fear of being alone with our thoughts. That's it. We have a fear of being alone with our thoughts. Today was fucking money. All right. So go out there, crush it. This is going to be one of the. So this is called Momentum right here, and at the bottom there's always a Carl Jung, not Jung. Carl Jung has an incredible quote. And this is going to be a quote. So, Erwin, you talked about liking the quotes. That's awesome. Thank you very much. It looks like it's pretty popular as well. And to be honest, whoever wants to unfollow me, go fuck themselves, because that's who I'm going to be from now on. That's going to be my outlet. My outlet is doing that. But I'll leave you with this quote. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. There's a lot of people with great ideas out there. No execution. Go execute this weekend. Get 1% better. Talk to you guys soon. First time, subscribe. If you're listening to this as a podcast, obviously, hop over to YouTube so you can see my big fat Irish face. Have an awesome weekend. Talk to you guys soon.